Look at that. Hey guys, AJ here, back on that one for you. So guys, I've said it once and I'll say it again. These 304s are broke as a joke, man. Hey guys, credit card debt, high interest car loans, student loan debt, right? Guys, just like Kevin Samuel says,
winter is coming.
Guys, winter is here. They're screwed, man. Screwed. And guys, what do I always say? Don't date lawyers, right? Because guys, on top of the fact that all of these lawyers are all strong and independent, right?
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
Guys, they have tons of student loan debt. Absolutely insane. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. Guys, they only do this because they expect one of us to swoop in and pay off their loans.
Here I come to save the day.
Clown world, right? So guys, we're going to dumpster fire known as TikTok and look at these knuckleheaded broads whining about their law school debt. But before we do, like, subscribe, drop a comment, guys. Have a second channel, check that out. Have a Discord, check that out. And let's get into this.
School student debt check-in. It's been about 4 years since I graduated law school, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to check in on my student loan balance and discuss some of the costs of attending law school. To attend law school, I initially borrowed $129,094.41.
$129,094.41.
You stupid woman!
I paid $10,000 of that in a lump sum before my student loans went into repayment, and since then I have refinanced the balance of $119,094.41. Here comes the part where I acknowledge that that number could have been much higher. So I paid $30,000 in tuition cash from my 2 summer associate jobs over the years, and also had tremendous help from my parents who paid my living expenses. And I know that that's not possible for everyone, and I just wanted to take the time to acknowledge that. Since I refinanced, I've been paying $2,168.93 per month. My remaining balance is $39,295.09. Law school student debt check-in.
Look at that, guys. All that debt. Look at that. And guys, she has 154 comments. Someone says, not me sitting on a pretty 115K. Someone says 130K. Not bad for 5 years. This is another chick. Look at that. All this debt. All this money. Look at that. This person says $2,000 a month. Holy smokes. Facts. You guys know they're all private loans too, you know? You guys are hashtags. Hashtag law school. Hashtag a lawyer. Hashtag LSAT. Hashtag bar exam. Hashtag money. Hashtag salary. Hashtag student loans. Clown world.
I think the better question is, who is not in debt? Because 95% of law students go into debt for school, and the average amount of student loans is $165K.
Look at
Give
that.
or take whether you go to a private or public institution. Am I in debt? I think the better question is, who is...
Look at that, guys. She said the average debt's $165,000. And guys, here's the thing. A lot of these chicks, they can go to regular schools and state schools, right? But where they can get a full ride scholarship, but they want to go Ivy League and pay for it themselves instead of actually getting a full ride scholarship. Guys, what is going on?
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Clown world, right? And guys, they're never gonna pay this off. Ever. Ever. And guys, if you honestly think student loan forgiveness is ever gonna be a thing,
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
and this girl's not bad looking, right? But she's the type to where you'll be dating her for a couple of months, right? And then she'll expect you to start paying for all of her bills so she can pay off her student loan debt, right? You guys, she has 24 comments. Someone says, me and my $160,000 worth of loans at 8% interest. Look at that. Someone says, I'm right here with you. Someone says, I'm $140,000 in student loan debt for law school. Look at that. Someone says, just me and my $250,000 in student loan debt for law school. And guys, there's still gonna be people who are like, yeah, but that shouldn't deter me from going to law school. You know what I gotta say to that?
You can't handle the truth.
Guys, maybe you shouldn't, right? Maybe being a lawyer is not for you if you have to get $250,000 in debt. What are you talking about, you absolute moron?
Stupid.
Come on, man. And guys, are hashtags. Hashtag LawTina. Hashtag debt. Hashtag student loans. Hashtag student debt. Hashtag law school. Hashtag law student. Clown world.
Let's talk loans and financial aid. So one of my mentors before starting law school told me that I should just go get the best legal education that I could get. And I really, really struggled with choosing between a school where I got a full ride versus a school I'm at now where I had to take out loans.
There you
but
go.
For the first time in my life, I didn't want finances to be something that was stopping me from an opportunity. So I took out loans. And the process is really easy. You basically pick them out and accept them through FAFSA, and then the school bills the loan instead of you. And then the school will deposit any remainder amount from your loan into your checking or bank account. I know taking out loans is super intimidating, but I think it is one of the most rewarding sacrifices that you will make. I personally don't regret taking out loans at all and going to my dream law school. However, financial freedom is really nice after law school, so you're just gonna have to make a pros and cons list. Okay, let's talk.
There it is, guys. I told you. This. Look at this knucklehead.
Beta female.
Guys, she said she could have gone to a lesser law school on a full ride scholarship, but instead she took out loans.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Clown world. What is going on with these morons, dude? Why are people so dumb? Why? Absolutely insane. Guys are hashtags. Hashtag law. Hashtag minority. Hashtag first gen. Hashtag law school tips. Hashtag UNCL law. Hashtag law school. Guys, here's the thing. If you honestly think that your school matters, right? Guys, I have friends who are lawyers and no one's ever asked them where they went to law school. Absolutely insane clown world.
Alright guys, so for those of you who don't know, today the Supreme Court knocked down the Biden administration's plan to pay off student loans. So I was checking into this. Check out this tweet by Alessandra Biaggi. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. In 2012, I graduated from blah, blah, blah law school with $180,000 in student loans. Currently, I've been paying them back for 11 years, paid 2 of them off completely, and in 2023, my balance is $206,000. She actually ended up with more in loans than she started with because of compounding interest. I thought this was interesting, kind of a sad story, but then I saw this. I dug a little deeper using some Twitter sources and actually found this New York Post article about Alessandra Biaggi. The same woman relocates to a new district in $1 million home. She bought a house for $1.2 million with her husband, who's an entrepreneur, and is claiming that the system is rigged against people who have student loans. She wants you to pay back her student loans, and I have mixed feelings on the student loan repayment. I think it'd be great, but there's some downsides to it. But just look at this. Just think about this. $1 million house and couldn't pay off her student loans.
Right there, guys. Gotcha, right? Look at that. Hey guys, this was in early 2024, right? So, but yeah, guys, the student loan debt follows them around in all circles, man. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Still has these loans. So it's $180,000. Now it's $206,000. Making payments this entire time. And guys are his hashtags here. Hashtag student loans. Hashtag loan forgiveness. Hashtag student loan debt clown world.
Ever wondered how people in New York afford to go to law school, especially schools like Columbia? Then listen in. So I'm looking at the total cost of attendance for attending Columbia, and it's about $85,800.
Look at that.
And that is just the required cost of tuition. So that includes your health insurance, which every student has to have, or you have to get it waived. But yeah, it's about $85,000. But obviously, going to school in New York isn't just about tuition. You have to think about housing, food, personal expenses, and Columbia calculates all of that out, and they post it in what is called a COA, which is a cost of attendance. So this is the COA. Columbia is saying for 9 months, they're going to budget $18,000 for housing, $7,000 for food, and $5,000 for personal expenses. They also give you about $1,000 for books and supplies, and I think this document fee is for like printing services. So your total living expenses are about $31,000, and with tuition included, it's about $118,000.
$118,000 a year. Clown world.
Per year. So obviously a percentage of students do have some sort of grant from the university, but I would say less than 50% get that type of grant, and a lot of it is merit-based as well. So when you get into Columbia or a school like Columbia, they will tell you how much merit-based aid you receive, and it's really, really hard to get more than that after they've given you your admission decision. A lot of the need-based aid is not a grant. You might get like a 20% grant of tuition, but need-based aid really isn't a lot, and most people have to take out loans. Something to consider is that the COA is only for 9 months, so that budget is not for a full year. So honestly, it costs more than that to live in New York for a full year, and most people are interning their first year over the summer in New York or DC, which are pretty expensive cities, and there is no budget for that.
Look at that!
A lot of people are also not paid their first summer and have to figure out how to survive. The school will not give you a loan. Schools do offer some sort of assistance over the summer. I think they give like anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000, but the summer is still around 3 months, and $6,000 is not enough to cover rent and food. In my experience, a lot of people have families who are willing to help them out, and even if they're not taking out loans for their living expenses, they have family to pay for their living expenses while they're in school for 3 years. Taking out loans for $118,000 for 3 years is going to put you in a lot of debt. It's not impossible to pay that back, but it is a reality that a lot of people at these schools are not taking out that much of the loans. And so you just have to consider, like, if this is something that you want. There are law schools that don't charge as much in tuition or have living expenses in other cities. But I don't think people are transparent with how much money they're getting and how much loans they're taking out. So I just wanted to come on here and have a discussion about it.
Look at that, guys. Look at that. $118,000 a year, guys. Insane. And guys, how many times have you heard these chicks say, yeah, well, I'm a lawyer and I have all this debt, but once I get married, I don't want to work anymore, right? So guys, she's trying to say that you'll be $354,000 in debt, right? All because they wanted to go to Columbia and have their ego, right? This passion project, an ego project, right? When they could have gone to University of Wyoming and paid like a tenth of that. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? And guys, you know for a fact. See, us guys, we're cost benefit calculators, right? A lot of guys will say, look, I would rather go to University of friggin' Montana and pay way less than just pay all this extra cash to go, I went to Columbia, please. Come on, man. Come on. And guys, there are hashtags. Hashtag law school, hashtag tuition, hashtag law student, hashtag finances, hashtag loans, hashtag Columbia law. Guys, don't pay their bills. Don't pay their bills. Don't pay their bills! The only reason why they do this is because they think one of us is going to pay it off for them. And there's simps that are actually doing it. Because there's less and less simps every day, man. Less and less simps, man. Guys, avoid these chicks like the plague. All right, you guys, this is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and guys, I'm out of here. Have a good one, guys.